Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com. Bring you the daily trend for week 16. It is day 4, April 20th, 2017. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. Support your knowledge in the market and see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. Alright, Jedi traders. Let's get going here. Lots to talk about as price action again today. Nice rally up here on April 20th after a somewhat flat session, consolidation across the board over the last several weeks, as we've seen price action consolidating here on the market profile. Ends up getting a nice move to the upside here. Again, after yesterday's week high, doing a little bit of repair up at the upper levels here, building up some volume and price action. Again, not a great profile today, but we ran away with price action after NQ Globex, ES, YM. Nice move from the early onset of last night, midnight open. Solid Heikin Ashi bars to the upside. So AM session this morning. Indices rallying up on varying tempos after a nice Globex move to the upside. All right, as we say each day, the core strategy that we're looking for, solid Heikin Ashi bars. Doesn't matter if it's to the long or to the short, underneath the 5144, and using the Heikin Ashi candles to keep us in trend, not feeling like we have to decide based on a variety of different candle formats. It's either in trend or it's in indecision. So NQ pre-market, we were looking at 54.29 to the upside, already holding above the weekly VWAP. We had our upper levels, we had our lower levels, and it was NQ to the upside after some AM chop. Again, small pockets of opportunity here. The arrows indicating the highest probability setups. Yep, we had one here, but again, as soon as market open here, you're kind of chasing the trade. You wait for the pullback, and price action lifts again, gives you another opportunity. Now, what we're battling here today, again, was the AD line, the advancers and decliners, as price action was already at the highs on the AD line, giving the sense we're also at the Globex high. Can this thing push higher? Sure, it can push higher. Keep the bias out of your mind and see what you get here on today. Now, news bit came out somewhere in the AM session on tax reform coming up. Whether or not that will follow through, but that got the market excited, even with the situation in North Korea, as we read the headlines of battleships and nuclear devastation. You would think the market would come down, but keep the thinking out, keep your bias at the door, watch the charts in front of you. If you got the opportunity and you decide to play, market action took a nice move up here. Once it pulled back, most likely trade management kept you out, unless you were on that move from the early setup on the Globex, and you would have ridden it up all the way to the MML's high. Now, 54.49 was not the original MML high, as we'll show you here. I've mentioned it before, but able to capture it on the screen capture here today, as I wanted to show you here. You could see the early at 5-minute MML overlay, Murray Math Levels overlay. Here it was around 54.20 as we saw price action. Let me pull this up again. There it was, 54.20. Obviously reset upside on the bigger picture. So you have a reset here. All right. You can see the MMLs as price action lifts, so does the MML. So you're in trend to the upside. So there's that pullback. Time trade management most likely would have taken you out unless you're in from the very lows. And then you'd look for the re-entry. And so NQ pushes it up. There it is. And gave you another opportunity upside again. Faltered here a little bit. Took some time for this to get going. Very slow, very slow. Finally, the ES, the YM, and NQ on that news bit lifting up upside after economic highlights this morning. Not too bad. Jobless claims remaining low. but up from the last number. Philly Fed positive number and leading indicators signaling a shift higher for the economy. So pretty much news bits. It was all tax reform, possibly healthcare reform coming up again. Unfortunately, shooting in Paris again, and obviously the North Korea debacle still plaguing the headlines. So market action gives us a lift, pretty much chops out the remainder of the PM session. So there was your key move in the AM session. We'll put you up at the highs, and maybe at some point you just bail or trade management take you out. What kept you up at those highs? Well, AD line, advancers, decliners, as I mentioned before. That's right, you get up to these highs on the AD line, and you're a little, that we're not really going any further than 90. Price action obviously pulls back a little bit here on the candle, settles a little bit of chop to get going. Did all the charts look like that? No, a little bit smoother on some of the others. We'll look at that here in a moment. But NQ still pushing up to some of those all-time highs as the markets rally up on today's session. All right, so NQ back upside. How did the ES look today pre-market? Again, we had an MML inside an MML. Murray math levels. Again, a little bit of resistance. We were looking upside 43 up to 51 as the ES grabbed a high here today of 23.58. So pushing all the way up to the reversals here and almost up to the 4-hour high resistance here on the MML charts. Nice move on the ES. Let's pull up the ES full session chart. As we see here, price action giving a nice lift. A little bit smoother, but choppy at first, just like the NQ. Pull back unless your entry was Globex low, or Globex from the Globex session. You ran it up. MMLs, don't bail at the MML resistance. If the HA bars are in trend, keep it going. Give yourself an opportunity for a pullback if your stop is back. Wait, see how deep it drops. If it holds up above the 534, you got yourself still a chance to stay in trend all the way up here to the reversal and pulls back and chops out the remainder of the afternoon. Complementary charts to the ES today. Again, there it was. Nice move off the Globex. As I mentioned, if you got the early entry off last night's after the Globex, after the close, Globex chopped around a little bit, got the midnight open, pulls back. Remember, entries down here, stop moves you up, and just depends on how you trade management, but all the way upside to 23.51. Nice move, and even a little bit higher. So overall, Globex, nice pop. There it was on all three charts, NQ, YM, and ES, to give that lift in that morning, late AM session as the tax reform news came out and just lifted the markets higher. In other notable charts, it was the YM again, full session. Here we go, price action. Again, a little bit choppy at first. Not as divergent. Yesterday started to look like yesterday's price action, but today we lifted. And so our AM session just continued that Globex run, and PM session here, long stalls in between the spurts to close our VIX out today. What did we have? 14.15. Not much of a move here on the VIX today, but 20 sectors in the green and 5 in the red. One other notable chart, the 6E today. Again, nice MML Murray math level. Here it is in sync. That's what we're looking for. Again, we've been monitoring this overlay of the MML charts. Not part of my core strategy. The core strategy being the Heikin Ashi bars underneath the cloud. But when you tie it in with the MMLs and we're going in the direction, we have all green here. Green bars, HA cloud is green, 51.44, and you got a 534. You're above the 34 EMA. You're going from the lows to the highs. Absolutely fantastic setup. When you pull back, that comes into a counter trend. I'm not a big fan of that. I would have gone specifically with the upper. Now, why is this a better setup? Obviously, for the fact that now I have a red candle coming down. I got solid Heikin Ashi bars downside. Yes, the yellow indicates caution, meaning that the cloud is not in the red, but finally you got the cloud in the red, gives you that last setup. So you might have entered on the pullback here under the major support resistance and the drive down to about $1.74. So nice move on the 6E. All right, that's recap of the charts here. Let's go into the market profile. Again, we can see market profile here again repairing yesterday's week high, not really being able to push above here. So price action gets up there, creates some volume. Again, a lot of consolidation. Finally, the breakout play whether it was based on news or just a matter of finally some money coming into play, bigger money, options expiry. You can come up with every reason you want, but bottom line is trend was trending. If you were able to catch it, you caught it. If not, you sat back and you just watched it right away, and that's all right. There's another day. All right, daily gaps, price action again, lifting above the weekly opens here. We could see 449 getting back upside and 3075 holding up. As we mentioned at the technical momentum of the week, that's right, we've been watching that 10 and 50 EMA. Let's jump right over there. ES again, tagging the 50 EMA. Want to see for any uptrend to continue. Again, we've been in an uptrend pullback, but for price action to get back upside, we wanted to regain above that 10, which we've accomplished, and back above the 50. We could see the NQ. Again, nice job, back upside, going for those all-time highs again. And the YM still a little bit struggling, but nice to see at least grab above the 10 period moving average today. All right, let's go. Oh, one other market internal I want to mention again, the cumulative tick index, again, part of the shadow trader complex of market internals. Watching the cumulative tick, as you can see, the majority of ticks were above zero. So that's just another compliment to the fact that market was holding upside today. All right, as we roll in tomorrow for the daily big pick, taking a look at the ES price action again, lifting up. The fact that we have a little bit further to go, we can reach up to that 57.50 overnight, but the fact that Globex ran, intraday ran, a little hesitant to say we might run again, but if we do, we have our upper numbers here all the way up to 23.71. Any pullback, maybe halfway, 23.43, and we'll monitor that in the morning or midnight open and see where we're at on the charts that we'll look here in a moment at. Take a look at the YM, 4-hour, 60-minute, 50-minute. Again, up to 605. Possibly real run would be up to 742 or 703 to 742. Anything downside, we're looking at 469 all the way down to 391 on the 10-minute charts here. But any move upside might be looking at 620 all the way up to 625, but would probably stick to the chart here, maybe 586. All right, NQ as price action. 542975 is the first major support resistance downside, pulling away above the weekly VWAP today. Very nice move. Again, upper levels. So I'll be looking to 54.68 tomorrow, but downside, watch 54.29. Any loss tonight on any catalyst or news, we'll look down to 54.10.25. Again, as we roll through the start the evening session here in about 40 minutes. Here we are on the 5-minute charts and the MMLs across the board. Price action holding above the 534 EMA. 6J, 6E holding downside. So anything upside at this point, 6J just hugged that 34 EMA today. Get NQ on a smaller time frame. Downside, we got a little bit of room still to the upside. And the 34 EMA here, backside would be 43.75 on the ES and 469 halfway on the YM. All right, Jedi traders. That concludes an insight into the daily trend and key futures markets. Let's go ahead and take a look at the calendar for tomorrow. As we roll into Thursday, we'll be looking at jobless claims, Philly Fed. I'm sorry, that was today. Sorry, Thursday. Friday, PMI composite flash there, existing home sales and rig count to close out the week. Remember, next week, GDP, next Friday as earnings. Next Thursday, I believe. Yes, next Thursday, April 27th, big numbers out as we get into a lot of the core earnings for next week. All right, that concludes an insight into the daily trend and key futures markets as I see them each day. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets, which include StockTwits. You can follow me, Trading Fibs, or Twitter at Trading Fibs. My trading mantra of one simple strategy: any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You watch that today. You've seen that on the not only the MML minute charts, but also on the range charts as well. Like I said, you can find me every day on Twitter at tradingfibs.com. And I only watch what's in front of me and on my charts. I leave the crystal ball to the experts. And I always leave my buys at the door when trading. Hey guys, if you're interested in joining us in our community of like-minded traders seeking those highest probability setups, feel free to email me, david@tradingfibs.com. You can join us in our trading room on any Thursday or Friday to view the live charts set up as they happen in the trading day. Hey guys, have yourselves a Blue Zone day wherever you may be. And happy 420 to all of you. Have a good day. Have a good night. And good trading to you.